Alright guys, thanks for coming back and checking out the third installment to this series where I'm checking out other data centers in the area. This is the north campus of the new Carlisle Data Center. As you saw in the last video, both the north and the south campus of the new Carlisle Center is huge. And I think that really gets captured in this video with just how long it takes me to fly from one side to the other. When I'm doing the Hobart Data Center, I can easily get from one side to the other and keep track of the drone, but that was a little bit tough to do on the new Carlisle campus. It's just a massive, massive facility. I've never had to fly above my legal limit of 400 feet, but it probably would have been helpful if I would have had a waiver for it in New Carlisle, because at 400 feet you're still so close, you can't really get a good grasp of just how big this facility is. So a couple random facts about it. Again, it is another AWS facility it's just to the east of downtown New Carlisle. They have that split into two campuses, and this is considered the 100 campus. You'll see in this video that they don't joke around when it comes to security at this facility. I had not been in the air very long before I got a visit from some of the security guys there. I purposely blurred out the gentleman that was caught in film, just out of a matter of courtesy and respect. We're not going to show anybody's face on film, especially when they weren't expecting to be filmed. That's not cool. They did say I could put the interaction in the video. I just wanted to be a little bit courteous about it, so I do appreciate that. Thank you very much. It did help the video. It was able to point out and identify what some things were and answer some of the questions I had while I was on scene. So again, thank you very much for that. Without further ado, go ahead and dive in. I know this is a bit of a long video. Hope it's worth it. Be sure to like, subscribe, and do all the things you would do to support a YouTube channel like mine. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. I've climbed on top of the truck. I've got, I don't know, I'm probably not even 10 feet off the ground, but we're going to take a quick view of the campus on the north side. You can see that's what looks like it's part of cliffs. I'm not 100% sure though, to be completely honest. Panning across, that's a giant gen station for electrical. I can hear a little bit of noise off of that, but nothing terrible. And we're gonna keep going. I'm assuming those are the buildings housing whatever they use for storing data. And then massive field. There's a building back there. It looks like a warehouse of some sort. And then the road we just drove up to get to where we are. Come on. All right, so I'm gonna hop down off my truck and we're gonna set up the drone. We're gonna do a quick lap, all right? All right, so we've got a new battery loaded up. Something I didn't catch when I was over at the water tower. I'm a little surprised by this actually. The drone is locked in on 32 satellites right now. And for as far in the middle of nowhere as I am, that's amazing. I don't know, I might have to do a quick snippet off on the side on what that means, but to be in the middle of nowhere and have that many satellites, that's insane. I don't get that many at home. And like I'll go to downtown Hobart, I don't get locked onto 32. So that's a little interesting, but we're gonna take off up in the air.
Take off.
Woo.
Home point updated.
There's a bird up there. We're gonna have to keep an eye on that. It's like a hawk of some sort. Oh, he's coming down. A couple of them. Have to watch out for them. See if I can get up above him. Camera on. Alright, we're gonna pan down here a little bit. And wow, this is just friggin' ginormous. I'm at
max altitude
400 feet already and not even close to covering the whole area. I'm gonna back out a little bit. And we're gonna do just a cross shot from right to left. Actually, just do a full orbit. All right. Just nice and smooth movements from right to left. Now, when I first drove past, I thought this gen station might have been for Cleveland Cliffs back there, and it may be, I don't know. But either way, I could see it powering both the data center or Cleveland Cliffs. Either one of those would be quite possible. So that's my first shot. We're going to reset the camera, and then we're going to get all the way over to that corner. Now, typically on my Hobart flights, I try and drop down a little bit, and I'm usually around 300 foot or so for the shot that I'm about to try to do. This area is just so freaking big. I don't know that that's going to work and come out the way that it's usable footage. I just had 2 dragonflies crash into the side of my truck. That was interesting. But we are just about over to the end of campus, and much like at Hobart, the drone's just a tiny little dot in the sky now over there. So, center myself in my frame. And then we're going to put it in sport mode, which I know that runs against.
Unavailable.
I know
Fly with caution.
I know that runs against what I was just saying, but just because this is so big, I don't want it to waste all of the battery on one shot. So, camera's rolling, and we're just going to try and hold this road on the lower right segment and use the road as my guide to keep everything in line. This is a huge, huge campus, and there's 2 of them. That's also worth noting, that there's another one of these just a bit to my south. So, we're going to end up seeing my truck. I hate it when I get myself caught in the shot, but I didn't really have a ton of time to try and prep for this mission, so. We're going to put this in and then try and research and see if this is actually data center or not. It may be Cliffs. It may be data center. I don't know. It actually looks like it might be data center. Especially since you have such a massive parking lot over there. Alright, normally I would do a whole lap. I might be able to get away with it. I'm not sure. Yeah, we should be able to get away with it. Just have to do some of the tricks with the editing. Yeah, we're going to have to move. I'm losing sight of the drone. Alright, we'll bring it back. And now what I'll do is I'll zoom in. This is one of the cool little tricks that I do in Hobart. I'm going to switch to the 2.5 camera, or the 2.5 zoom camera. And you can see just how zoomed in I am now. And this is construction over here, so this is going to be kind of interesting to see. We're just going to orbit back towards myself. I probably should have pulled it out of sport. This is going to be a little bit glitchy, but...
Max altitude reached.
It is interesting. I can hear people yelling somewhere behind me over the noise of the data center right now. I haven't pulled the microphone out to see what the noise level is, but it's next to nothing right now other than construction noise. I'm not sure how good that footage is going to come out because of how dark that is, but we'll run up this building for a second because I can still see it up there. Alright.
Max altitude reached.
Bring it back my way now. God, this is just so massive. Everywhere you look. It's It's just massive building. Let's do that same shot, but down a little bit. Got a car coming at me right now. Two of them. This guy's got a microphone, so we'll probably have to land. How you doing?
How you doing?
Good.
Flying the drone?
Yeah.
Okay. Just mapping or?
Just pictures more than anything. So.
Okay. They just want us to come out and talk to you.
Oh, okay. I can show you my 107 if you need to see it.
No, that's okay.
So.
Are you working for like a specific company, or is this just personal stuff?
I run a YouTube channel called Bird's Eye View Aerial Images.
Okay.
So.
I think there's been numerous. Have you ever been stopped out here before?
No.
Or did we come talk to you?
No.
Yeah. So it's kind of like.
Do you mind if I bring it down real quick?
Oh yeah. I was just gonna.
I don't wanna
ask you.
interrupt
No,
you.
you're fine. You're
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
Give me like 10 seconds. You guys are safe. I just don't want to not have it in front of me because I'm not keeping an eye on it, you know. Yeah, I just don't like having it up there when I'm not staring at it or I'm not watching my camera just in case something stupid happens. So
So they just asked us to come out and see
okay.
who you're doing.
I mean, I can give you I'll show you my 107. I mean, it's legit. So,
Amazon has
so.
a drone detection in place.
Really?
And that so anything that crosses over like into the area on their property, it automatically sends up a red flag. So
Okay.
we encourage people, unless it's okayed by Amazon, not to fly over the Amazon property.
Do you mind? Is that yours too, or no? Or is that part of the mill back there? Like that new construction back there?
Oh, this is all ours.
That's all Amazon too?
Yeah, this
okay.
is it kind of jets out. I believe the only thing that is not is the power plant right here. Kind of funky. So this is the 100 campus, and then we have the 200 campus, and they're
Okay.
both like kind of separate entities. They're with Amazon, but they're two separate entities.
So I don't, full disclosure, like I've been filming the Hobart Data Center. I don't want, I'm not here to stir up any trouble or anything like that. I'm literally just making hey, here's what New Carlisle looks like. You know, compare that to what Hobart is right now.
Back to the Hobart, have they broke ground?
Oh yeah.
Have they really?
Yeah, actually, go on my YouTube channel. You'll see I've been filming that since the
Really?
start of that
Okay.
project. It used to be a cornfield that looked a hell of a lot like
Yeah.
this, and now it's nothing but dirt mounds and drainage, and they've got a building out there that's, I'm assuming it's like a rehab building, basically where they take equipment to fix it and stuff like that.
Yeah, okay.
But
it's crazy because a lot of people that know, like, the prep work, like, you know, you bring in the construction crew, then you gotta like do a parking lot and a staging area for the construction before they actually, and there's so much stuff before they actually start erecting buildings, but once they get erecting, they go quick. It's insane.
it's just the little bit of progress that they've made out there. I'll do a flight and then I'll come back 2 weeks later and it's like, whoa, that whole corner of the property is not what I saw last time I was here.
It's crazy how the construction, like, it's almost like an explosion, and it just happens all at once. But yeah, that's funny you brought up the sound thing, because I'm like, we're not yelling at each other, we're just having a casual conversation.
Yeah.
And you can hear me, I can hear you. And
Yeah, and I stopped, there's one in Portage, Indiana too. God, the one in Portage isn't even the size of those little towers over there.
Yeah.
But that was silent too, like nothing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the most noise you'll hear out of here is just the construction
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, when I got here, good thing you guys had me come down. When I got here, I parked over at the water tower over there.
Yep.
And
Thank you.
No problem. And I heard more noise from that than either of these two buildings.
How
So
high do you typically fly?
I'm not allowed to go over 400 feet.
Okay, I was just gonna say, is that your limit?
Yeah, so you can get permits to do stuff like that. But honestly, like, other than a project like this, I've never had a reason to go higher. And even then, I can get the shots that I need to from 400 feet.
It's crazy.
So.
Technology is just ever changing.
Yeah. So, But yeah, I promise I won't have any personal information on what was going here. You guys are okay with me putting this interaction in the video? Okay. All right. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You guys have a good day.
Takeoff. Home point updated.
All right, we're back up in the air now. We're camera rolling 150 feet, and I can still hear the drone more than I hear any of the noise off of the data center. And as you saw in that interaction I just had, that is pretty par for the course. They did ask that I not go over their property, which is Class G airspace. They can't really hold me to that, but I will respect that a little bit, just because, well, you don't want to be a dick. It's not a good way to get good business if you're going to be a dick. So we're going to zoom out and get what looks like water towers over here, or cooling area. All right, just to show like perspective of the size of this, I'm at 300 feet now. Zoomed in with the 2.5. Come on, turned my camera off on accident. It seems like I might have bumped it. Yeah, I definitely bumped the controller. We're in city mode now, and that's why it's going so slow, but we can speed that up in post. I just threw it back in normal mode. So much faster when you're there. So it is a little interesting to learn that they do have drone detection software out here. I can't say that surprises me. I'm going to fly from this guard shack back away from me real quick. And we're already at 62% on this battery. I mean, that's just how massive this complex is. That's not a guard shack, I'm sorry. It looks like a little power box. But you can kind of catch the fencing there. The power stations, or cooling stations, I think, for each of these buildings. Slowly turn back into it, because there were some cars. Yeah, they're not there now. Each of these aisles had a couple of cars in them before. So the whole myth that data centers don't employ people, that's clearly busted. I don't know how many people work here. I have no idea. I really was not expecting to have that interaction with those guys. Camera off. But we're going to bring the drone back to me now. All right. As you can see, I'm still over in that corner lot where I just launched from. I'm going to set my camera down here just for a second so this footage isn't so jittery on you guys. Sorry about that. I'm hoping my microphone's picking this up. You can hear a little bit of construction noise at the moment. You've got the backup siren going of, can't tell what it is. It's cat something. Probably a dozer, but I can't tell from here. It's too far away. But even still, you can see numbers wise where we're at. Below 50. Conversation is louder than the noise that we're hearing right now, and I'm quite literally right up against the property fence, and I think that's why I had those two gentlemen come and talk to me. Overall, that was a pretty positive interaction. You can tell that they tend to know drill law pretty well. They were asking questions that I would expect to be asked in an interaction like this, way more than some of the people that I've encountered in the past at some of the other jobs where I've done. You get a random person, Karen, whatever you want to call them, coming out telling you can't fly here, you can't do this, you can't do that, even though it's Class G airspace. They fully recognize that this is Class G airspace, and as long as I stay out of the South Bend airport window, which we're still quite a ways away from, I've got no issues here, and they legally cannot stop me. Obviously, I'm going to respect their wishes a little bit. I can get the footage that I want from the outside, and there really isn't too much ton on the inside that I can show you guys that would really be beneficial towards this video, or really increasing the knowledge and trying to dispel some of the myths and put pure fact out in there. And that's really what this whole thing is about. I am not pro data center. I'm not anti data center. I really, to be crass about it, I could give a shit less either way, as long as whether it's Amazon or Google or whatever business it is following the laws and regulations are in place, and they're not actively ruining the lives of those around them. And one of the things that I'm seeing a lot of is people saying that this is going to ruin the lives of the people around them, and it's so far from what I've seen. Yeah, there might be a little bit of an inconvenience because of the construction. Now, granted, the closest subdivision's a couple miles away, and I'm not seeing anything that would stop me from living in this area. I mean, I'd actually probably like it just because it's so quiet. And I know, given some of the myths that are out there, it's a little bit ironic to say, but I mean, the sections of the data center that are done right now behind me off to my left, or well, not behind me off to my left, but up the road to the left, it's pretty quiet over there. Now, obviously, you've got the myths about the water and, you know, what it does to the environment that way, and I don't really have much that I can do to show anything pro or con, truth or lie about that right now. But I'm looking at a pond right on the other side of my truck. Let me turn the camera around. That's a giant holding pond, and I've seen birds land in there a couple times already. There was a duck swimming across earlier on the other side of my truck. I wouldn't expect there to be animals inhabiting that area if it was poisonous water. I wouldn't be surprised if I was allowed on the other side of the fence if you could catch a fish in there, because I mean, the side that I just showed you is a little shallow, but it's a little bit deeper over here on the other side of my truck. So, but anyways, we're gonna go back to the north side of this complex and take some video. I am running into a little bit of a time wall here because I do have to work tonight, but let's get to the other side, get some footage, and see what we can get on the south campus as well. All right, off in the distance over there, I don't know how well this camera's picking it up. We'll hopefully see in post, but there is a plant for a company called Airgas. I am not very familiar with everything that they do. They do tend to pop up in places that there are mills, and like I said, I don't know all the details of what it is they do, don't do, whatever. But I currently have my truck running. I don't know if my microphone's picking that up or not. We're currently holding at anywhere between 50 and 70 on decibels. Even with the annoying hum that's coming out of that air gas plant over there, we're still hovering under 70 decibels, and that's about what talking level is. Now, could that get annoying? Yeah. Is that the data center? No. That is, I can almost guarantee, tied to that Cleveland Cliffs building off over the distance over there. I am on the north side of the North Complex at the moment. We're going to throw the drone up in the air. There's a couple things that I wanted to catch while I was over here. There is a Smith Ready Mix plant and an Ozinga plant. I know that Ozinga is supposed to have a plant on the Hobart complex that I've been filming. So I just kind of wanted to catch footage and show what that could look like. Obviously, every site could be different. Most of the Ozinga plants that I've been to look pretty close to the same. You got a bunch of gravel down on the road, a bunch of trucks going in and out. But I can't imagine that the one in the Hobart Data Center would be too much different. So got the drone fired up. We're going to throw it up in the air. I'm going to start looking at that air gas plant over there just so you guys can see that. And then we're going to orbit back south towards where I came from to show what that side looks like, and then go up the north side to show what the north side of this plant looks like. One of the things that's commonly talked about with data centers is the air pollution that's going to come out of the generators. I don't see any clouds or smoke or steam or anything coming out of the data center, but I do see a nice one coming out of Cleveland Cliffs that I'll show you. Cleveland Cliffs isn't the data center though. So All right, we're locked into 30 satellites. That still blows my mind. I've never seen that many. So, drone going up.
Takeoff. Home point updated.
Camera on. Turn. That is the air gas plant that I was just talking about. We're going to get up to about 300 feet real quick. Okay. I'm going to zoom in on that so you can see what that looks like from above. Let's go 6x zoom just to show that off. That is such a cool freaking feature. So that is the general direction that I'm hearing. You can see a train in the background there. But that is the general direction that I am hearing the whine from. It is kind of annoying, I would imagine, to hear that nonstop. But again, not the data center. We're about facts on this channel, and we're going to do full disclosure on everything and be honest on just about everything. So I'm going to climb up another 100 feet to get to ceiling.
Max altitude reached.
And again, I'm on the north side of this data center, so we're going to do a complete 360, showing what the rest of the area looks like. There's the data center. That's the north campus. You see the south campus back there. I'm going to have to edit the hell out of that in post, but again, always over-rotate and under-rotate your shots so you know that you've got enough footage. Right? Now I am straight up over my head at the moment. I just look straight into the sun. That sucks. Really hating that I forgot my sunglasses today. I'm going to back out, and we're going to get a quality shot of the north. I'm sorry, I'm going to assume it's the west side of this campus. And you can see that is the ready mix plant. All right, camera is rolling. Going to reset. Done. Camera rolling. And we are headed southbound now on the west side of this campus, or east side of this campus, sorry. That was ready mix that we just cleared, coming up on where all the Ozinga trucks were.
Max altitude reached.
You got a pretty high security gate there. You can see off in the distance where I was parked before, over by that pond. And that water tower where we started filming over here at, that's off on the right side of the screen, just went out. And that is the campus, North Campus, right there. All right. I can barely see the drone, so we're going to come back now. We're going to zoom in. Camera's rolling. And we're going to be in normal mode now. Pan up a little bit just to get a little bit more footage of the plant itself. And there's the Ozinga plant right there. We're going to pan a little left, make sure we get all of that. And there is the Smith Ready Mix plant. We're going to try, I don't know how well this is going to work. I'm already screwing up the shot. So a shot like this in post, I would do a clip right here and then just reposition the drone, and then I normally hide something like this with an orbit. Screw it, let's just do one now. So we're going to reset the camera. Camera's rolling again. And we're just going to get some footage of the ready mix plant. And I would use a shot like this to basically blend out really bad drone maneuvers. Because even for as good of a pilot as I like to believe that I am, I still make mistakes. I'm still not smooth all the time. But this is a fairly good representation of what a concrete plant looks like. I've been to a couple of these with a previous job where I was selling, well, I wasn't selling the tires, but I was working for a tire company that sold tires. I was a fleet manager. So I got to see these trucks you're looking at now up close. They were pretty impressive. I'm going to zoom out and reposition myself now because I want to make a straight pass along the north side of this complex. And basically I just use that corner shot right there to blend and make the whole transition seem a little bit more seamless and less jarring. I also use shots like that to basically break up when I need to reposition at the Hobart complex. We're going to do a 400 foot here, and just like I did on, camera's rolling, just like I did on the other side, we're just going to line the road up with this corner. Let's kick it into
Obstacle sensing unavailable.
Sport mode.
Fly with caution.
And we just try and keep the road running up the corner of this grid here on screen. Flying a white drone against a white background visual is a little bit tough sometimes, but we're doing okay at the moment.
Max altitude reached.
You can see the entry there. We might try and go and get a little bit better footage of that.
Max altitude reached.
Thank you. All right, and that's zoomed out from just under 400 feet. And now we're going to reposition and do the same thing coming back, zoomed in.
Max altitude reached.
Reset the camera. We're going to drop into the 2.5 zoom now. Whoa, we are way zoomed in.
Max altitude reached.
We're going to do a pan of this parking lot just because that's a lot of vehicles in there. And it's a little bit after noon on a Saturday at this point. There's clearly people working here. Now granted, that's a construction side. Maybe it's a little different when it's operational, but we're going to reset the camera and back out. Camera's running again. Okay. Got a food truck coming at me right now. You're going to hear that. We're getting pretty close to low battery here. I just dropped under 20%. You can see the main gate. I'm not going to be able to get the shot that I wanted. We got to kind of, not quite book it back, but we got to get back. Drone's coming at me right now at about 30 miles an hour, a little bit faster than that. The wind's really pushing it right now. And that beeping you hear is my low battery alarm. We are back at the Smith plant, and it is right over my head. Not quite, I can hear it though. So we're gonna stop this shot and come in for a landing. I'm a little bit surprised it's not trying to auto land on me. It's done that several times lately at Hobart. I don't know if I accidentally disabled that or what the case is, but either way, we're out of sport mode, we're back in normal mode, and a nice, smooth landing on the back of the truck. You can hear that motorcycle behind me. That is by far the loudest thing in the area right now. Come on.
Landing.
That is by far the loudest thing in the area right now, and that's drowning out that air gas behind us. Let me shut this drone off real quick. So typically I don't like letting my batteries run that low. It's not good for them. That being said, though, if you're going to get into this line of work, you really have to treat the batteries as expendable. They're things that wear out over time. They're not cheap. They suck to buy. I just had to order 3 more. But those little guys right there, you don't want to ruin them. You do want to take care of them, but it's part of doing the job. So we're going to shut everything down, and we're going to head over to that south campus. Hopefully we can fly over there without another visit from our security friends. And then we're going to go home and start editing before I got to go to work tonight. So see you down south.